Hi, I'm Josh Ellsworth with Stalls TV, and I'm going to teach you how to heat print jackets today. Here we have a Sport Tech jacket by Port Authority, and I want to walk through some of the challenges with decorating jackets in general. Number one is finding a material that adheres properly. Most jackets are either poly or nylon based, so you want to make sure you select the heat transfer material that's designed to adhere to the fabric that the garment's constructed of. But once you get that part right, it's all about how do I load this on my heat press and limit the risk. So when you're dealing with any jacket, you want to unzip it and take a look at what's inside. And in this case, if we wanted to print a right chest graphic, we see that there is a seam structure here on the inside that's really going to make it impossible to heat print that without risking some print through or getting a little bit of a marking here on the jacket from this printing through, because there's no way for me to split these layers apart. This is all sewn together. So I'd want to steer away from a right chest placement on this particular jacket. Now, if I look at a left chest placement, the construction of this jacket, Sanmar has made it a little easier because they have what's called a port pocket, which is typically for clean hooping for embroidery, but it also helps in our heat transfer world where we can simply unzip that and we can split these layers to get a nice flat pressing area. Now, of course, that means you have to be able to put something inside of here to raise this print area, so this isn't going to print through, so the zipper won't print through. There's a couple ways to do that. Slide in a heat printing pillow or a print perfect pad, or since I have the Hotronix heat press, I'm going to show you how to do it with a interchangeable lower platen. So I swap out my 16 by 20 attachment, drop in my 6 by 10 inch, which will allow me to open up the pocket and thread it on, draping over the zipper, creating a completely flat heat printing area. Now, of course, you want to be aware of the orientation of the jacket and the way you lay out your graphic. There's also a 7-inch round platen that works well for this application, or you can get any custom platen you desire. So once I have it loaded appropriately, preheat, and make sure during the preheat process you dial in your pressure. It helps get you a nice flat heat pressing area, void of moisture and wrinkles. Position the design and print. And I have a completed application that's perfectly flat without print through. Now, just to show you the other way to do that, I'm going to heat print the same thing. Not the actual graphic, but lock the heat press down on the other side of the jacket to show you the risk and what you need to watch out for. So if I'm to load this on, and I can see there's the seam right here. Even if I raise it up, there's no way to get away from the seam. Lock it down, and you start to see it strike through your design, and you get a little discoloration along the jacket. Now, of course, that's for left chest and right chest graphics. Now, the other thing you're going to want to probably heat print on a lot of jackets is a back placement. So this jacket's pretty nice in that it has all the mesh outside of the main print area. So once again, you'll want to be careful with just how you load this onto your heat press, trying to make sure any of those seams are outside of the print area. An 11 by 15 attachment may be a better fit for this to completely eliminate the mesh. Now all that extra mesh, if I'm to peek inside of here, is hanging down over the edge. You can see there's where the original line was. It's well off of my heat printing area. And then of course graphic placement. We've given you tips like this in the past where there's a hood. You want to make sure you line them up a little bit lower. And happy heat printing on this garment. Let's show you one more jacket. It's a little different. Here we've printed a left chest graphic. You can see this is also made possible by this pocket that'll allow you to split it and thread it on, getting it down to a single layer, getting rid of the mesh. But unfortunately there's mesh fully on the back of this jacket. So it's something that I'd want to take caution if heat printing, if there's no pocket to thread it to get it to a single layer. That's the whole goal here. But in this case there is a pocket. Get it to a single layer, split it onto the platen, and thread it on, getting for a completely flat, even heat printing area. So once again, make sure you have the proper material with the right adhesive for your jacket fabric, and try to eliminate any obstructions such as zipper, mesh, and seam structure to get a single ply layer for heat printing. Make sure you use heat printing pillows, print perfect pads, or a threadable heat press with optional platens such as the Stahl's Hotronics line of heat presses.